Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I want to talk about why Call of Duty World War II needs a competitive playlist and why ranked is so important to the success of the game. I'm going to be talking a lot about why it's good, but I am aware that not an insignificant number of you are fundamentally opposed to competitive gaming. You don't like the way that pro gamers or competitive gamers think about Call of Duty. You find that they want it to be unfun, head glitch central, or that they ruin the public match experience. I am not unaware that you exist, and I'm going to be talking directly to you later on, but I got a little bit of other stuff to talk about first. And if you're curious as to what the gameplay is, this is Modern Warfare Remastered, and I'm going about as hard as I possibly can in public matchmaking. You just go in and play Dom or S&D and try and pub stomp, which is kind of about as hard as you can go in Call of Duty at this point. And no, I'm not using stopping power. Call of Duty World War II has a lot on its shoulders. It is supposed to be a big comeback game for Call of Duty, even though Black Ops 3 was in many ways a comeback game for Call of Duty. This one is sort of a return to the roots, and no more jetpacks, no more exosuits, back to the ground. Let's bring back traditional Call of Duty for all the Call of Duty fans, and I think in order for it to be successful, it needs a great ranked or competitive mode. I talked about this in my wish list, and some other people have talked about it, but I just cannot emphasize how important it is to have a very good competitive mode right out of the box. Obviously, I can make comparisons to Black Ops 2 League play, but I think that almost all of you have already heard this, and I could talk about how League play led to the growth of COD esports and how people are still playing it and yada yada yada, but I think taking a look at Call of Duty's competition is much more important. Competitive game modes have been the single most important feature of all of Call of Duty's competitors. If you look at Call of Duty as a franchise, it is slightly declining year after year. People be like, COD dead, COD dying. No, COD's a massive game, but instead of growth or slow growth, we have slow decline. Basically, people are noping out of Call of Duty to go play other games. Most of them are moving on to other types of shooters, but a few end up in the MOBA realm as well. And if you want to take a look at the games that people are leaving Call of Duty to go play instead, they all have ranked modes. For example, CSGO, right out of the box. Rainbow Six, out of the box. Overwatch, I play the crap out of ranked in that. You've got H1Z1/Battlegrounds doing very well, and League of Legends and Dota, not necessarily the same crowd, but a lot of people have moved on to play those as well. They recognize me and talk to me when I'm online there. All of these games are insanely popular. They're growing, which is important, and in some sense are designed to be competitive. The mode, as in the premier, end-all, be-all, most important thing in all of these games, is their competitive playlist or ranked mode. Everything else is essentially a warm-up or a practice to that. Not to say that people don't go hard in normal modes or that normal's not fun. I still play a lot of quick play and a lot of like ARAMs and regular modes in League of Legends, but the important mode is the competitive mode. It's also the hook that gets people to come back to playing every single day. You have to play so many matches to get your rank. When you get your rank, most people don't feel that it's their true rank or their true potential. They can do better, so they come back and they grind and they play and they work with friends, and it's like, hey man, you want to come play this with me? I need a partner. And they pull more people in, and they come back day after day after day trying to get their elo or their rank up or whatever it is that you want to call it. And I think it's a fundamental reason that all of these games are growing. It's also one of the reasons I play the ever-living crap out of Overwatch and formerly League of Legends. I got, and still am in some ways, really deep into the ranked modes in those games. You guys see from the streams, you know how much I like it. And I'm really not even that competitive of a gamer. I'm not particularly good or amazing, and it's not my #1 most favoritist thing ever, but it is addicting, and it definitely does work. So you might say, okay, Drifter, that's great. We know you like this competitive gaming thing. Well, you can do that in Call of Duty. Just go do the MLG circuit, go play game battles. Why not? Why don't you just do that instead of making everybody have a ranked playlist? Well, the answer is because that's super slow and painful, and one of the worst ways to experience competitive gaming on the planet. Every other game that I listed has an out-of-the-box, one-click competitive matchmaking. I actually thought about doing a montage of it, but it was like the most boring montage ever, because all you do is you boot up the game, and it's like, okay, I want to play. Let's click matchmaking, ranked or normal, or just whatever that is. Some call it competitive. I think Counter-Strike has a slightly different name. But that's it. You just click the button, and it matches you with people that want to play on their own. MLG game battles, you have to go to a third-party site, you have to make an account, you have to link your gamer tag, then you have to find a match with another person, schedule it, add them on your friends list, get them to join the game, play, make sure you record your match, maybe organize people, make sure there are no disputes. If there's a dispute, you take it up with the ticket system, which favors MLG or whatever the hell, UMG premium people. I don't even do this thing. I never really did that because it was just a huge pain in my ass to even work on that website, or to dispute all the people that have fake wins, or to argue, or to not get DDoSed. It was just pure pain. Whereas these other game modes, it's just right out of the box. Like, I haven't played Counter-Strike Go in like 6 months, but if I went back, it would tell me, okay, you need to play like 10 games, and then you can just click on this button, and the whole world of Ranked is open to you, and you can go and have fun and do it, and you don't have to do any of this other sort of annoying stuff that you do with Call of Duty. And the next bit is for those of you that don't like these so-called pro gamers or competitive gamers, that these guys aren't really playing the way Call of Duty was meant to be played, and it's fundamentally different than what you play. And while that's true, it is still a very fun way to play the game. The modes work really well. It's growing for a reason. And my question to you is, how hard can you go in Call of Duty? What's the measure of your success in this game? Is it what prestige level you are? Is it how many weapons you've unlocked? In this case, it'll mostly be through RNG, which is a grindy thing. Maybe it's your kill-death ratio, how high or low that is. Or maybe it's your win-loss ratio. Maybe it's your maximum in-game kill streak. But all of those things have to do with grinding out loads of multiplayer games to either get the experience or the gear, or just getting good lobbies to get the good KD ratios, or maxing out your kill streaks. And every single person that's watching this video knows that being a Prestige Master does not necessarily make you a good player. There have been many people that are good at pub stomping that wanted to do something a bit more competitive and got murdered. Me being one of them, not that I'm amazing, but I hold my own in Call of Duty, no issues. Try to do competitive, got slammed. I don't know how many of you remember Jay Nasty's pub stomping team that he put together versus Team Envious. What did they make it to, the 10-point club in King of the Hill? Something brutal like that. It's a completely different ball game. And not to say there aren't people that can't do both. I'm not trying to poop on you guys that play regular COD, because I'm one of you for that matter. But it is very different. But the amount of nukes that you call in, the amount of good lobbies that you get, and bad kids that you murder doesn't impress anybody anymore. Nobody cares about that. The real measure of your skill is how well you can do in a competitive set against roughly equal skill component, how high you can get your elo, how far you can fly, or how high you can fly in that particular mode. That's where people are judging your skill these days. Instead of people looking at your profile, if they ever do, and seeing all of these things and judging you, imagine instead being able to look at somebody's in-game profile, or even better, just being able to glance at them and you can see like a highlight or an emblem or a border or something, and you know exactly what you're up against in lobbies. You can take a look at this person and say, oh, he's gold. Oh man, this guy's in bronze. Oh my god, you better hold the horses, ladies and gentlemen. We have a challenger player here and a diamond. We need to put our try-hard panties on. That you can see this in the lobbies when you play with people. And I think that's something that's very cool, not only because it gives you a better idea of who you're playing against, but if you do that, if you go through the system and you get your rank and you get your elo, you get something very cool to show off. You get to go into the lobby as a Grandmaster or a Platinum player, and people see that and they respect that, and that is so much cooler to show off than the emblem that says, hey, I killed so many people and dropped 3 nukes or whatever. And I think that would be really awesome for Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare had some of this. They had the exosuits that you would get at the end of the competitive season for your ranks, and that was a great step in the right direction. They were roughly analogous to the Victoria skins that you would get in League of Legends, but the ranked playlist in Advanced Warfare just wasn't quite working out all the way, mostly because they allowed variants and the rules weren't quite MLG, and they just kind of drifted apart. But I would like to see that sort of thing come back in COD World War II in a big way, that you get your border outlines, your avatar, your emblems, your whatever the hell it is you customize your soldier with, or the little things on your guns, have something to do with your rank, your real in-game elo-based competitive rank, and I think that would make the game so much more fun. I think it would bring people back in on a daily basis to play more than supply drops or RNG or any of this other nonsense would, and I think it would help bring Call of Duty into the, well, I would say future, but modern gaming, help catch it up with the rest of its competitors. Guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.